What's up everybody, welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to be covering the Southwest Archery Spider takedown recurve bow, going over a couple topics such as measuring your brace height and installing a nocking point. These are two crucial steps that you should take when you receive your bow. You can see that I've got the bow out here in front of me. We've already got it assembled. I'm going to go ahead and start with measuring your brace height. So let's go ahead and take the bow off of the stand here. I'm going to set it here in front of me and outline a couple things. So brace height is the measurement between the string and the riser. The correct way to take the brace height measurement is to measure from the innermost part of the grip of your riser to the string itself. You can do so by using a simple tape measure. And I'm going to go ahead and take the tape measure and put one end all the way in the innermost part of the grip and measure to the string itself. In this particular instance, you can see that we're sitting at about 7.5 inches of brace height. Fortunately, all Southwest archery bows come with an owner's manual, and on the back page of the owner's manual, there's a chart. The chart outlines appropriate brace height measurements based on the overall length of the bow. This particular bow that we're dealing with now is a 62-inch overall length spider bow. Therefore, the appropriate brace height should be 7 5/8 to 8.5 inches. As we had measured, we're sitting currently at about 7.5 inches from here to here. So we need to increase that brace height by about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch to fall within that recommended spec. Now, adjusting your brace height is as simple as adding or removing twist in your string. So since we need to increase our brace height to fall within the spec, I'm going to remove the string from the bow. I'm going to add about 5 to 10 twists to the string, and I'm going to reinstall it. By adding twists to the string, you're shortening the length of the string itself. By shortening the length of the string, you're drawing these limb tips closer together. When these limb tips are drawn closer together, it increases the distance between the riser and the string, which adds that length to the brace height that we're looking for. Now you can play with this and fine-tune it by simply adding or removing the twist as mentioned. In this particular case, I'll go ahead and take the string off, add the twist, put the string back on the bow, and we should be good to go with the brace height. The next crucial step to initial setup when you first receive your bow is adding a nocking point to the string. Now, a nock point is added to the string in order to ensure that you always find the same position when you install your arrow prior to shooting. When having a nock point on the string, it ensures that you're always nocking the arrow in the appropriate spot that provides consistency when you're shooting. In order to determine where to install the nock point, you can use a simple arrow square, or you can use an arrow shaft if you don't have one of these available. This is the most accurate way to measure and install a nocking point. If you're in a pinch and you don't have one of these tools, you can in fact use an arrow shaft itself by placing your arrow shaft on your rest or shelf pad and then nocking the arrow to your string like so. And then you're going to want to find at what point the arrow and the string forms a 90-degree angle. Once you find that 90-degree angle, or as close as possible, you'll know that you want to install the nock point right above that point. Now, in this particular case, we do have an arrow square. So the first step is going to be in putting your included arrow rest onto the riser. Now, the arrow rest has a backing on the back side that you can peel off, and then it's adhesive and can stick right onto the riser by lining it up with the arrow rest hole like so. Now, once you have that installed, you can go ahead and place your arrow square onto your rest and click it into the string itself. Now that I have the arrow square installed, you can slide down to where it finds and meets contact with the rest, and you know that is square. On this particular tool, it shows you the 1/8 inch mark. The reason that 1/8 of an inch is so important is because the nock on an arrow itself is an 1/8 of an inch. So if you install the nocking point an 1/8 of an inch past center, you'll ensure that you're nocking your arrow at center every time. So now that we've found the center position, we can go ahead and take our nocking point, little brass nocking point, and a pair of pliers. These are nocking point pliers. You can use any pliers, channel locks, needle nose to go ahead and pinch this onto the string as needed. I'm going to find that 1/8 position, click my little brass nocking point, adjust it down to where it needs to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove my square, take my pliers, and squeeze to ensure that this thing stays. Now that that's installed, you can go ahead and take your arrow, knock your arrow right below your nock point, and you should be good to go.